Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video and I am bringing it to you because most times Black women are being called aggressive and all that. But when they see the real people that are aggressive, they don't talk about it. Yes, they don't talk about it. And that is women. Okay, this lady actually told her story about her experience with a colored woman she met on the road and all that, who started, like, harassing her without even asking for permission. And then they are going to turn around and tell you that, they are the soft ones, and people that look, Black women are always the ones that are aggressive. Like I said at the end of the video, that, it is only when I started talking about Black history that I found out that Black women are aggressive. That was what I heard. I never knew about this. And then some people actually do not want us, especially people that look like me, to enjoy all the good things the world got to offer, because they don't feel like you are supposed to enjoy that. They don't feel like you are probably human enough to enjoy some certain things and all that. So all they want is just anything that benefits them. But if it's not benefiting them, you don't have to talk about it, because they keep asking, what do we have? But Black people have a lot. Let's get into this video.
So I was sexually assaulted by a white woman in St. Petersburg, Florida last month. And I feel like it's really important to tell this story because I hardly ever see white women get held accountable for their violent actions, especially towards Black women. So I was out at a bar with my best friend in St. Pete on a Friday night, probably around 12:30, so it was pretty late, and were approached by a group of white women. Now, these two women were visibly drunk, but they were friendly, so we were just talking to them, dancing, just making small talk. They're asking us our names. They're being pretty friendly, but again, very, very much visibly drunk. And then a third white woman approaches. And mind you, all of these women are in their 20s, right around like the age of me and my friend. A third woman approaches, I'm assuming that those are her friends that she was with. She joins the circle because at this point we're kind of all standing in a circle, just chit-chatting and dancing. And she approaches, she looks me in my face, we make eye contact, and maybe a second later, she reaches her hands out and grabs both of my breasts. And not even in a gentle way. I was wearing like a Bondo top, like a strapless, actually it was a dress. It was a strapless dress that I was wearing. She takes her hands to my chest and goes like this to both of my boobs, like hitting them upwards. I immediately looked to my friend. We're just staring back at each other, just in disbelief. I froze. My mind went blank. This woman then asks me if I like women, and I respond and I say yes. She then asks if she can kiss me, to which I then freeze again, looking at my friend again, because I'm like, I genuinely cannot believe that I feel ambushed. I'm being ambushed in this moment. Not to mention, I am the only Black woman in this bar. St. Petersburg, Florida is a very, very white city. If you've ever been there, you know that. Something that I noticed immediately when we stepped into the bar was that I was the only Black woman in the building. So I did feel targeted in a sense, especially because you walked up to me, didn't even say your name, didn't ask me a question, and just put your hands on me. After she asked if I wanted to kiss her, I hesitated. I was kind of just like I just genuinely didn't know what to say. I was just shocked. She then just kind of disappeared and went off to another part of the bar. I'm sure she felt embarrassed because she just sexually assaulted another woman in a bar and then had the nerve to ask for a kiss. One thing that really frustrates me about white women as a group of people is the lack of self-awareness. It's like you're so used to being able to navigate the world without being held accountable for your actions, and it's so obvious. If she was a man, I would have punched her in her shit and not thought twice about it. But because she was a white woman, that alone protected her from me defending myself. And I didn't even realize it at the time. But in hindsight, I now know that the reason why my initial reaction wasn't to smack the shit out of her is because she's a white woman. And white women, whether they know it or not, always have a thin veil of protection around them because the United States cares deeply about white women. Their tears, their protection. Anytime a white woman goes missing, the entire world is looking for her, etc. In the United States, protecting white women more than they protect black women isn't even what's the most frustrating thing to me. What frustrates me the most is that white women have a history of violence against black women that does not get discussed enough. When I think about the people who have physically assaulted me the most, black men are number one. White women are a close second. Whether it's grabbing my hair without my permission, touching my hair, running their fingers through my hair, whether it's demanding that I kiss them, because this is not the first time a white woman, intoxicated white woman has been like, kiss me right now, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me. Sexual violence is violence at the end of the day. And I think that because I've interpreted it as, oh, these white women must have found me sexually attractive in some way, it didn't register in my brain that this was a violent act that was being done to me. It didn't matter that it was under the guise of, oh, this is a queer woman. That's irrelevant. And this is going to piss a lot of people off, but this is my lived truth as a black woman. In the United States, black men are the number one biggest threat to black women. Unfortunately, that's just the truth. It is a statistic. Argue with the statistic. The second group of people that I think is the most violent towards black women are white women. Very often, white women and their violence gets overlooked and kind of swept under the rug. They don't get seen as violent because they're white. And they get to hide behind the fact that they're women, so they are a minority, technically. And not only are they violent towards black women, but the black women that they are friends with rarely get protection or support from them. In my past, there have been white women that I have been friends with that I would communicate my discomfort anytime we were in a predominantly white space, and they just didn't care that I was uncomfortable. They didn't ever try to make me feel more comfortable as the only person of color in a space. I have been used as an emotional punching bag. I have been used as a token black friend to a lot of white women. And it just doesn't get talked about enough. That group of people is a lot more violent than we'd like to admit, collectively, globally. And it's ironic to me because everyone talks about very openly how violent and aggressive black women are, but no one ever talks about how violent and angry white women are. And I don't know where this will land on this app, but to my black women, this is just your reminder not to let white women put their hands on you. Say something to them, hold them accountable. It's going to be difficult because you may not register it as violence at the time because, again, society has conditioned us to believe that white women can't really be violent, but they can be, especially towards black people. So please hold them accountable for their actions.
Juneteenth is, excuse me, both.
Which holiday do you think is more important, Juneteenth or the 4th of July?
By far Juneteenth for me.
I think they're equally important. Juneteenth, definitely.
They're both important. I think that it's been too long for people to actually celebrate Juneteenth.
What's happening to the white people? They have a Black Miss America. They have a Black college. They have a Black month. What do we have? And now they have Juneteenth.
I'm not saying anything bad about Juneteenth, but 4th of July is a big thing.
The 4th of July is kind of stupid. I think Juneteenth is more important.
What makes the 4th of July stupid?
Because it doesn't celebrate like the freedom of all Americans.
Independence does apply to everybody as an American, not simply as this group in America versus that group. We're all American. So I would say Juneteenth is not as important because you have to understand it in the light of the 4th of July.
4th of July celebrating just everybody else freedom. We were still slaves when 4th of July started.
Both need to be celebrated because they're both pivotal periods in history that unite us.
But we've been celebrating Juneteenth far before it was a national holiday. It's something more inclusive to our own communities, more representative of our freedom.
Yes, I understand there was slavery, don't get me wrong. But there was also a Holocaust, and that was more recent than slavery. But you don't hear the Jews saying, gimme, 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 gimme.
I think it's important to take pride in our own country, but also to remember that there were really hard times.
Juneteenth was just passed, and so that celebrates the emancipation of slaves. And July 4th is when the Declaration of Independence was signed and we separated from Great Britain.
What's the point of Juneteenth? What is it?
I don't know.
It's important to celebrate
the end of an owning of people, which should have never happened in the first place.
We do a lot of ancestral, like healing and work together as a family.
So I'm not going to lie to you, I just kind of learned about Juneteenth a little bit ago. It's kind of sad that I just recently learned about this in my life.
It was never like an official holiday until now. So it's amazing that it's finally been recognized.
We've known and celebrated for forever. And I think now it's starting to get the credit that it deserves. It's been too long.
Freedom is important to people who have been in slavery. And it's actually quite good that the Quakers did not believe in slavery.
What do you think's more important, Juneteenth or 4th of July?
What you say, Juneteenth? Man, Juneteenth. I say Juneteenth.
So this is all I got from the video, and sorry that I really had to match the video together. But I mean, it's really a great one. Seeing people talk about what they think. Number one is that some people actually do not even believe that Black people are supposed to be free. Some people do not believe that Black people are supposed to be treated any way nicer. Some people do not believe that you actually have rights, you know. To them, they feel like it's just all about them. Like they are asking, what do we have? Because as you can see, they do not have anything. And we have taken everything from them, as you all can see from the video, you know. All of them are talking about 4th of July and other, which I do not have any problem with that. But then they are not being considerate about how people regain freedom. Not like we actually regain freedom, because, I mean, it's okay. It's great that we are enjoying some part of freedom, because if you ask me, I am going to tell you that, like, you know, back then and now, that definitely there has been a progress or improvement, which I absolutely believe and agree with, right? But then people are still not going to recognize it because they feel like they cannot, they don't fit into it. Why? I feel like it's just their white supremacist like attitude, or how, like, you know, just getting on themselves, because we are always very quick to, like, you know, understand that or understand that we are enjoying this and other people do not have to enjoy it. For them, they do not need to struggle for anything. I mean, it's been us, it's been Black people all these years struggling, right? Pushing forward. So they don't understand most of the things that, should I say they don't understand? They absolutely know. Because each time that they have an encounter, they are always very quick to say, why are you treating me like a minority? So which means that they know that there is how minorities are being treated and all that, right? But they would rather go for the other one, you know, because it's how do I say that? It fits their narrative than what we are enjoying or what we are celebrating. So I don't think I was expecting them to also pick Juneteenth, because they cannot relate. But it is always Black people that are always very considerate. Black people will sit down and tell you, yeah, we went through this, but we don't want any other people to experience it, or, you know, or like, you know, nobody should go through something like this. Or Black people will be experiencing horrible times and they still are ready to stand up for other people. But no, it doesn't happen like that to people that look like me. You know, so this is not like telling us that you are on your own. If you do not speak up for yourself, if you do not fight for yourself, if you do not stand up for yourself, nobody's also going to stand up for yourself. Sorry, nobody will also stand up for you, right? And then moving forward to the lady that said that people are always very, very eager or very quick to talk about how aggressive Black women are, because it was actually from them that I learned that Black women are aggressive or Black. It was when I started talking about African American history, Black history, and all that I found out that we are actually being tagged aggressive. I never knew. So to them, we are aggressive. I mean, we are always manly, because that is what they call it, right? And they are the soft ones, because, like, you know, everything about them is all soft. And her experience also will make you understand how aggressive some of them, I am not saying all of them, how aggressive some of them are. Because most times they do some certain things, they feel like they have right over you. Because it's only somebody that feel like they are entitled to you and everything that got to do with you that will come up to you and wanting to do it, like, trying to harass you or trying to do some certain things. I mean, it is the audacity how people, like, can just bash on people and try to, like, be aggressive or trying to harass and all that. But you know what? We are going to keep screaming it, because when we talk, they say, oh, you all talk a lot, you all speak a lot, you all are so quick to, like, it is not judging, but these are the people's experiences, what people go through and all that. And this is also a very great opportunity to also speak up, because sometimes we tend to, like, not speak up, or tend to, like, keep some certain things to ourselves, because, like, you probably do not want problem and or just for peace to reign. But enough of that kumbaya, it's time to speak up, say it the way it is. It is just her audacity, and then they are just gonna sit in the corner and say that aggressive. See you all in my next video. Bye for now.